ahead and call the meeting to order. Both Penny signs these after we get everything.
I say I need to go to the restroom.
Oh,
please.
okay.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Well, I guess I'm not.
All right.
I guess you're calling.
Well, I'm the same way, man.
Him?
Are we gonna continue signing bills?
Yeah. Well, we're going to finish getting our bill signed and then we'll go ahead and head with the meeting.
I'm saying we're gonna get them, like, you guys missed like 6 of these. Just enough to be annoying. And for everybody's information, in future, once things are more set and fixed, because of the late bills, Sandy did say that she will be giving us a list of bills that we can then distribute so everybody can see. But because we have so many like late bills, we have invoices that are reflecting 3 or 4 missed payments, and then they're sending those invoices individually, and then one big, it's a mess. But we're getting through it, and we will eventually start getting a list of bills, because she will make one for us and sit it down with the bills, and everybody can enjoy and see. And then you guys don't have to sit there and awkwardly watch this.
Is everybody through?
I think so. First page. There you go.
Okay, let's move on with the meeting. Roll call. Tim Patrick.
Mayor.
Judy.
Here,
Thea.
Here.
Sharon.
here.
Chief Newman.
Yes, sir.
Janet.
Here.
Dennis.
Here.
Rod. Here. Mayor's comments. The only thing I have to say right now at this point is if we don't start getting all receipts signed, credit card, any receipts signed and turned in, they will not get paid. They'll come out of your pocket. So let's get them signed and get them in and keep the state happy with us. Approval of agenda for August 14th.
I do need to add something. I meant to put it on here, but it got lost in the shuffle. We have a renewal for the liquor license for the Highway Bar and Cafe. That needs to be done.
Okay. That would be number 8 on new business. Any other?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I would like to amend the agenda to add under new business, special meeting.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple things. I don't know if they should be applied now. We got so much to do, but we've talked about these twice. One is the goats that we've talked about.
Okay.
And another is I would like to get it finalized with Helen's sewer,
Okay.
what we've talked about, and get that all settled. And whatever we need to do, or they need to do, or whatever.
Okay, let's put goats number 5 under old business. And let's put, Ellen's utility under old business number 6. Then under new business, I would like to go ahead and amend it and put it number 10. I don't know if we'll need it tonight, but it'll be there if we do. Clerk Fraser going forward. Okay, if that's all the amendments,
I'll make a motion to approve, Mr. Mayor, on the agenda for August 14, 2025.
do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Approval of minutes, July 10th, 2025. Has everybody had a chance, and do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion to approve.
We got a motion to approve, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Approval of minutes for special meeting July 15th.
Yes, which I did not get everybody a copy of that, that was my mistake. I just learned that we should be approving minutes from special meetings as well at the next regular meeting. Go figure.
There's minutes in here from the meeting.
I know, I didn't give it to like early,
Oh, I
before,
see.
so everybody can look at
Okay,
it
it's
before.
in here, okay.
There shouldn't be that much there. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Pay bills,
I'll make a motion to approve to pay the bills for the July bills.
do I have a second?
I'll second
All those in favor?
it.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Reports, clerk, Tia.
Okay, so obviously we don't have the usual stuff that we have printed out, which would be the balances of the checking accounts and all this stuff. I don't have those. They did not come, and they're pretty much irrelevant because you don't know the different stuff. But, so Sandy didn't send me any notes that she wanted to discuss. So, what I'm gonna say, so I'll go ahead and talk about, Sandy would like to get a credit card now that the, credit card for Michelle has been canceled and the credit card for BJ has been canceled. We now only have 2 active credit cards, one for the police department under Daryl Newman's name and one for the, town under Rod's name. Sandy would like to get a credit card with her name on it that would be used for office things, purchases, and the like. And so I'm not sure if you guys want to discuss that or just.
Let's put that under number 11, new business.
Okay. And then. So I got a call yesterday and then, or an email yesterday and a call today. The first call, or the email was stating that there has been a change in voter registration and how that looks. So Lori Smallwood and somebody else, I don't remember their name, I didn't write it down. They're gonna be traveling around to the towns to, inform the clerks on how that's supposed to work. I emailed her back and said, we don't have one. And she said, that's fine, whoever can be here. And that would be September 15th at 11:30 a.m. here at Town Hall is when they will be over here to discuss the changes to the voter registration. So at the very least, can get that information, so when we do get a solid clerk, which we do have a few, thank you, applications, which I was gonna bring up in executive session for our discussion. Second is, I got a call today from, I didn't write her name down. From WHAM, they're gonna have a little meeting, type of thing. September 29th in Thermopolis at the Fire Hall, 5 to 7, and they will serve dinner. And she said that if anybody's interested in going to that, it's just like a seminar for
It's District 3 is what it is.
Yeah.
Region 3.
Yeah, if anybody's interested, that, I told her I'd call her back tomorrow, let her know if anybody is gonna be showing up.
When is that?
September 29th, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and they are serving dinner.
They're always good to go to because we do a lot of networking at those type of meetings
Yeah,
with different towns about, you know, what's going on in Region 3, so, you know, I would highly recommend that everybody could possibly be there to go, because they are good meetings.
Well, and sometimes the rest of us can't make it down in, what is it, January
Yeah.
though, to go to the main
Yeah.
one. So this would be one to maybe take its place a little bit for.
Yeah, I personally like see everybody can go.
yeah. I don't know what day that is. Monday.
What day,
September 29th is a
Oh,
Monday.
what?
A Monday. I don't know. On September 15th for the registration, voter registration update stuff is also on Monday. So, all right. And final clerk thing, I would like to try to get a form sent out to everybody with water bill, to everybody who gets a water bill, that will serve the purpose of having them fill it out, send it in with updated mailing information. Their post box, their, who's the main people that live there, because we have outdated mailing list and the contact list is a mess. And also in it, I'd like to offer that they add their emails so they can get their water bill emailed to them if they would like. And that'll help also make sure that water bills are being delivered on time, because the mail is slow. And they do mess up. So, I would like to get that done, which I'm basically just bringing it up to you guys, see if you guys have any opinions on it. Or if I'm good to just work with Sandy and get that ready to
Get
go.
her done,
Okay,
that's my opinion.
yes. And also with those, I'd like to add in a no spray form too, just front and back type of thing. If they don't wanna be sprayed, then they can fill that out. If they don't care about being sprayed, they can ignore it. But that way we have as much updated information as we can get.
And the phone numbers.
Yes, phone numbers, physical addresses, like their service address, make sure it's correct in the system, because it really was messy in that QuickBooks.
And we also need to put a note in there on these dog tags that they were due January 1st, and I think that we're gonna have to do something pretty drastic to get these guys to pay. Whether we serve them citations or whatever, there's a lot of people that's not paid dog tags. It's not fair to the rest of us that have to pay them.
Yeah. I did just recently last week find a huge amount of files that have to do with the dogs and the dog tags and people who got stuff last year. There's nothing on the computer, so it was never, anyway, I will try to get a list together and then work with Sandy to see if we can send something. And I think that's it for clerk stuff. Oh, no, water and sewer books came in today. They haven't given Chris. Yes, they came in today. Chris has them. He's gonna get started on, I did not get him enrolled yet, and I need to get with you to get you an account set up. Because the card I was given has a limit and it wouldn't do $400, so. The books have been bought, because that's the important part. Chris has them, and then I guess you guys can share and get it together. And then the enrollment, I will get that done this week or next week, and that way, as soon as he's done, you got 6 months to take the test. So you got a bit. If you guys wanna do one book, or however you wanna do it, and then.
I just wait till he's done, and you can have everything highlighted, and just follow his.
So, that came in, I'm working on it. I lied. The clerk ad that I had sent in, had put in the paper, has not been put in the paper, and I emailed her today and said, what's going on? She said she sent it, they didn't put it in there, and she's gonna get back to me as to why. But I did post it on Indeed, because you can do that for free. It doesn't do anything fancy like boost it or anything, so people kinda have to look for it, but we did get 3, applications. What was that word? So, and like I said, I will bring those to us in the executive session to discuss.
Okay, so did you say the books have been paid for?
Yes, the
Were
books,
they in our, I didn't even notice.
no,
When-
because they were already voted to be paid for and we'd already done the
Okay.
agreement for it, they were $100 a piece.
Okay.
So it was the 200.
Okay.
So, and then the enrollment for, the test is another, 175 or something, so.
So that'll come later.
We
Yes.
better pass, brother.
Yeah,
I'm not worried.
I am.
okay, now I'm done with the court stuff.
Okay, thanks, Leah. Janet, court.
Alright, so, let's see, for, payments received by the court in July were $50,973. You can see how many citations been written and paid. Let's see, August court is tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We still have one bench trial scheduled. Haven't heard from the guy, and a bunch of call-ins. And then, forgot to put it on my report, but September court has been moved up a week to September 12th.
Thank you, Janet. Maintenance, Tim?
Yes, I hope you got all night, because I got a lot to report, but I'll keep it short. Lots and lots of water line leaks. Howard and I have been fixing water line leaks on a daily basis. I don't know if anybody's driven down First Street, but we've got that dug up all the way across the street. Tomorrow will be day 3 on that.
Tim, would you let us know what kind of water lines?
These water lines are water lines for carrying our river water to our parks and to our green areas. So that's what we're having a lot of trouble with. Next year, we're probably gonna be replacing quite a bit of that line because it's been in there for like 25 years now and it's getting old and brittle. So the school done the line that we're fixing right now, and that's a major issue. And they had PVC pipe going through steel pipe, and the steel pipe was all rotted out, and the steel pipe crusted and created a lot of leaks along where that PVC was through that steel pipe. So that's what Aaron and I was going to do in the last 3 days. Hopefully we'll have that street back in operations tomorrow. So anybody that's out traveling that street, be sure to be careful. We've got it blocked off with equipment. We've got caution tape across the road. So just be careful. There's no, and there's, First Street's impassable from School Avenue. So if you're thinking about going down First Street and you live on Teachers Row, you're gonna have to go down Railway or down School Avenue to get to there. We've got all the roadways done in town as far as brush hogging. I don't know if anybody's driven around town lately, but all the weeds are down on all our roadways. They really look good right now. The lawns in the parks and the entryways are starting to come back after a pump debacle. They're looking really green and looking nice again, and they look way better than they did 2 weeks ago. We've been working on sewer filters with all the leaks we've got. We haven't had a lot of time to deal with the sewer filters. We've got quite a few of them done. We will finish those up before I'm done in September. Other than that, Howard, is there anything else that we've been?
I'd just like to thank the council and the mayor for giving us that backhoe attachment.
Well, and I'll tell you what, guys, we've done 4 jobs now with that backhoe attachment. We're just about paid for that, those 4 jobs. So it was a really, really good thing that everybody agreed to that. It's definitely, after we're done tomorrow, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 other leaks, and then we still got sewer tanks to do, that will pay for itself before the summer's over. So it was a very, very good investment to get. Anyway, Mr. Mayor, that's all I've got.
Dennis, do you have anything for us?
No, the only thing that we're doing is, going to go for a grant to, for our well hookups. We're gonna see if it gets money for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not gonna be a cheap deal. That pipe, the stainless pipe's gonna be spendy,
yeah,
but that's the only thing they got cooking right now.
yeah. Okay, thank you, Dennis. Police chief.
Nothing really new. We do have Tyler Tech finally gonna show up this week on the 19th, so I believe Tuesday it is, for our e-citations. They're flying a couple people down here at their cost to see if they can fix this and get us running by the end of the week. So, we're just waiting to see if they show up.
And if they don't show up, I've instructed them to, we're going to go back and ask for our money back. And, it should have never happened this long.
No.
And it's nobody's fault but theirs.
Yeah,
So we appreciate you,
we've been having meetings with them every week trying to figure this out, and they did fire the gentleman, or the guy we've been working with. They did, well, I should say they let him go, due to this issues that happened, so. But it was supposed to have been going by January, I believe.
December.
December, it's now August. But they are gonna have two of their tech gurus here to help us figure out what is going on with this. So, and don't think we're the only town that's dealing with them, because we're not. I think we just try to work so they're actually here. To deal with it. So hopefully we'll get it figured out and be writing e-citations by the end of the week.
okay,
That's the goal. We are in the process of working on trash cleanup again in September. We're looking at doing it maybe in September, so if anybody has a date that might work, let us know. We're hoping the dates right now, so hopefully that'll be coming in September. Okay,
sounds good.
thank you.
Thanks, Daryl.
What? Oh, windshields, sorry.
Too late.
We do have quotes for, a quote for 2 windshields. Both of the police cars are cracked to death. We've been holding off due to the chip sealing and everything. We called 3 or 4 different companies. This is the cheapest company. He's giving it to us his cost. This is ×2 though, and will be ×2. We are still holding off as long as we can, but Josh's is the worst. Mine's cracked all the way down.
So it's
But we're just trying to wait for the chip seal to slow down.
540 for 2 or for?
No, that's for one. Just,
Okay.
it's be 1 quote, but ×2. We need 2 vehicles.
So, does our insurance pay any on that, or has anybody checked?
We have not checked, but I believe last time we looked into that, we had a $1,000 deductible. So it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think our
This will
insurance
pay the
is.
deductible.
What?
This will pay the deductible.
But
Yeah.
the deductible is per incident.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's not gonna pay nothing.
Well, insurance.
So,
Is it out of town that you have to go to get them replaced?
yeah, this one's in Cody. This is actually a friend of his, so that's why we got such a good deal on it.
I just wondered if they checked the order at all, Joe Neal or.
I can double check with Josh. I know we checked 3 or 4 different locations. This is the cheapest, this is cheaper than the one we use in Worland usually. So, that's all I know.
Thank you. Pay retirement through ACH.
Okay, that was something that was brought up at the special meeting. Basically, that would just be, you know, you go online and you connect your bank account to the portal, and it writes an electronic check, basically. So instead of sending a paper check, which would be stamped, postage, delays potentially, or lost, and then running into the issue where our retirement for the police department is not being paid like it hasn't been, or there's mix-ups, Then we just pay online through this, and usually there is a smaller fee to use a ACH than there is to use a debit card or credit card. And it's something that Sandy suggested, and I said I'd bring it up at the meeting so that we could officially make a formal decision.
Sounds good to me.
Do I have a motion to have Sandy change the retirement to ACH rather than paper?
I make a motion to change the payment method for the Rain retirement to ACH instead of paper checks.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, aye. Employment contracts.
Okay, so you guys will see in the front folder, or the front flap, there is the contract that I drew up. It's pretty simple, it's very basic. It's the Manderson, Wyoming employment contract. It's meant to be filled in, so it's easily customized, and we don't have to worry about adjusting it every single time. And it's pretty, it's basically as basic as it's gonna get. If we accept this, then we would need to, all current employees would need to fill it out so that we can put it in their employee file. This way they know how much they're getting paid, they know what's expected, we know what they're getting paid, we know what they're expecting, what their position is, that, very basic contract stuff.
I would just as soon not call it a contract. I would just soon list their job description, what their description is and what we expect out of them, and have it in a little booklet or whatever, and then have them sign it, that they have read it and understand it, but it's not a contract.
I mean, it's literally, that's the same thing as a contract.
No, because it's all you're signing it for. If it's not a contract, you're signing it just to say that you read it and that you agree with it.
Right.
And I don't wanna call it a contract because it really isn't.
Well,
But that's up to you guys.
I would like to, oh my gosh. What would be the difference, other than the term? Because, it's the same thing, they write down who they are, when they start working, what their job is, what they're getting paid.
Well, number one, we should be writing it down, they shouldn't be writing it down.
Well, most companies do an employment contract, that way it's legally binding and everybody understands, so if there is in future a concern or a problem with their employment, we have it in writing that they know what they were expected to do. Or, on the flip side, it does also protect the employee, that if we're not doing what they think we should be doing, they have, it's just a really, and I do believe that, it's gonna help us in the long run when it comes to future audits, because right now, we don't even have writing down who's doing what, how much they're making.
We don't, and that's what an employee handbook should be.
Right, but this is also gonna be important for, just future. Like, I found an entire tote of past employee files that are completely empty. They're all gone. We're supposed to keep these records for as long as possible, and we have currently nothing. And that's wrong, first off, we're supposed to. And so we really need something substantial, like a contract.
Can I ask you, Mayor, about this? I found it, this was in some meetings back, well, this has been some years back, but it said, I don't know if this even applies, but it said, the mayor asked if we legally have to have an employee's handbook, and Sandy, who was that at the time? Sandy Kitchen? You remember her?
I was an attorney.
And she said, no, as long as it is very clear that it is not a contract. And Sandy said that what she would recommend is to do the code book project first, then do an employee handbook. Whatever, I don't quite understand that, but it has to do with not doing a contract. So I don't know, I was just gonna read that, cause it has to do a little bit with it, but I don't know.
Well, we do have a handbook, so that helps.
This is the only part that applies to me, but I don't know.
You know,
Contracts can get you into trouble,
They can also save you.
and they can also save you, but
Well,
what I would like to do, if I may interject, is I haven't had time to review any of these. This is the first time I've seen them, so I would like to review these. There might be some things that we want to put in here as a council. So my vote is to review these, and if we need to add anything to them, we add to them. If we need to subtract anything from them, we subtract from them. But I think it's something that we need to sit down and go over as a council instead of just taking a paper that we've seen
And
the
voting
first
on it
time and
tonight,
voting on
right.
it. So that would be my opinion. I'm still open for discussion.
also, yeah, there is, oh, I have it here. The police department's contract, front and back, one for, Newman and one for, and these are different than the one that I grew up. These are more specific because they function differently. And these are gonna be extremely important, whether or not we want a regular employee contract or not. These ones for the police department are pretty much gonna be vital, because they are salaried, and it needs to be very clear what is expected of us and of them.
I agree.
And because of the retirement, because they have a lot more than just a normal employee, and it's extremely important that there's no questions.
I
And
agree.
they are gonna need a contract. And-
I agree with you, but I think we need a chance to look at it, because I'm not gonna do anything on it tonight. Because I don't know what all's in here either.
Well, and I've read through it quickly, but there's
But you need time to.
probably
think
some
about it.
things that we need to talk about as a council and go through, but I would like to, and maybe we can do this at, when we come down to number whatever it is on new business.
The special meeting.
Yeah.
so do I have a motion to table this until
We need to have it done by next meeting.
Yeah,
right.
We need to be able to sit
Next
down next
special
meeting, next regular meeting.
okay,
But
well,
we can go over this at a special meeting.
yeah. So do I have a motion to table this until the next regular meeting?
I'll make that.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? I got 2 votes that weren't,
I said aye.
okay, I didn't hear you.
I didn't say aye.
Because I didn't.
I didn't
was
say
trying to-
that.
Call for the ayes.
Okay, I guess we'll table it.
Okay, give me the ayes who wants to table it.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Oh. Okay, so the insurance, that is something that we were confused about. Towards the back, I have what was agreed on, and now,
Hold it.
yes.
I'm the mayor here.
Oh, sorry.
I'm joking with you. Insurance, go ahead.
Sorry, there's just so much, I just figured I'd just keep them. Try to flip through it. Now, I don't really, I know that we talked about wanting to look into this. Now, I did find the handbook, or the policy that they sent us. It's 112 pages, so I did not print that out. But, and honestly, I don't know what I'm looking at when I look at this, but this is what was agreed on. This is what Michelle sent back. This is what we have. And when it was sent back, it looks like we had 2 people currently enrolled as single and 2 people enrolled as family. So that's 4 people, which is 2 more than
Where is she looking
Oh, it's gonna be back in the back behind the fire protection service contract. Not in the very, very back, sorry, before the MPD tab.
at? Oh, I see.
Now I'm not sure if Sandy's gotten that fixed, or, but I know that Sandy has been in contact with them. Also because of, the issues that we had with overpaying for people that were no longer working here. So I know that Sandy has been working with them, and I'm not sure if she's got this sorted out, so that we're not actually paying for 2 extra people. But this is what we're looking at, and overall, based on what which is not much, understand, this looks like a pretty good program, but it's for you guys to look at. I don't think we have any choice decisions to really make right now, but that's what I found. And if anybody wants to look at the policy book, I do have it. It's saved on the computer, but it is 112 pages, and I didn't want to waste the paper. So.
I just love to sit down and read it tonight.
Oh, yeah. I love reading about things.
Read it twice for me then.
Or I can email you guys. If you have a personal email, because I know that some people haven't got their council emails sorted out yet, because difficult system a little bit. So that's all that was for the insurance, was just to look at it, present it to you guys, show you what we do have, and then we can maybe talk about next meeting about if we want to go forward with finding a new something, or if we just want to keep it the way it is.
JPEG is pretty darn good. They
Yeah.
treated us really good over the years.
But I do think that the main concerns we had can be answered with, we were paying for 2 extra people.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think Sandy said that money's, they don't refund that money, but it will be used, applied to
Yeah.
the months that we're dealing with, the future months.
And that's it for the insurance part. Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to take K9K out because, because it was included in the contract for Newman, the draft of the contract, so you guys can look at that, since we're tabling the contract itself. It is kind of discussed in there what would be expected of, the town when it comes to the K9, and what is expected of Daryl when it comes to the K9. So, yeah.
Daryl, on
Yes, sir.
the K-9, there's been a few people around town ask, and, I'm 100% for the K-9. I think it's done its job, but what do we tell them? I mean, tell people in this meeting and the people on the video how important that K-9 is and what it's done for us in the town of Manderson this year.
So the K9 is great for community policing with the young people. We get them talking to the cops and stuff like that. We do a lot of our traffic stops, especially from out of state, are drug related. We've done a DUI this year with the K9, assisted the county up here on the road with narcotics. We've done 7 stops this year that's gotten narcotics out of the vehicles that have come through our towns. That we have used the K9 and taken narcotics out of the vehicle and had to deal with. So the dog is a great asset it gets us in vehicles when we think we need to get into vehicles for different crimes, for narcotic crimes and stuff like that. We have a narcotic problem in our county, everybody knows that. We do have drugs come through Manderson. We are a port for that. They're coming from South Dakota, they're coming from Denver, back and forth. We have 35 other states that actually marijuana is legal in, but Wyoming is not one of them. So we have people traveling from those other states bringing their narcotics into our state. Now, some of the issue with that is people are like, well, they're just driving through. No, 6 out of the 7 stops that we've done, they have actually used that narcotic in our state. So somewhere in Cody or up in Pensleep, they have actually smoked their pot or done whatever, which is illegal also. So now we're putting them on the street high. So the dog's a big, big asset for that kind of thing. So Yeah, I understand we do, go ahead.
I firsthand saw that dog at work over here in Railway Park. And when Darrell came around the car and said, "Green duffel bag," I saw a kid drop his head like, oh boy.
I mean, and it's not just marijuana we're finding, we find meth, we find heroin. These are the things destroying the kids' lives, our young people's lives. I mean, the gateway to drugs, I always have said, is marijuana. That's what these young people start with, is marijuana, and then that doesn't do it for them anymore. Now we're moving on to harder stuff and harder stuff. And I'm so glad that Wyoming is against marijuana and against legalizing it, because otherwise we're gonna turn into Denver, to Colorado, to Washington. And now if you go to Montana, start looking around at all that. And I wanna keep that away from here. So that's what we're doing with the dog.
Okay, so you've done 7 stops where you found the drugs, right?
Yes.
Okay, you say you're finding marijuana, this and that, little bits. What do you do with them? Are they charged?
Yes, so.
Okay, but you've only had 7 stops that you found those drugs?
So we've had 7 stops this year, so
Right.
for this summer, this
Right.
season. So yes, so they have a citation, so if it's marijuana, it's a $500 bond, $500 bond that was brought into the town. So we write them citations for those bonds. And it's the same thing as a traffic citation. If it's just marijuana under 3 ounces, then they'll be cited and released. If they don't pay the bond, they can lose their license will be suspended. If it's a felony amount, then of course they would go to jail from there on.
Okay, can you, what I'd like to know is what your, the expenses are as to what you're making on it. Can you, Janet?
What I make on it?
No, I mean what the town makes or what the,
So the
How do
town
I
has brought
wanna
in
say?
$3,500 so far this year.
okay, and then.
But I don't, I mean, that's just in citations.
Okay, but I'd just like to know what the expenses are against what's being brought in.
Okay, so what your expenses are right now, so if the dog gets hurt, the town will be liable for the first initial vet visit, of course. So if the dog got shot on duty or something, we had to get to the vet. If the dog is hurt on duty, that would be the town. Of course, we're all reasonable people. We're not gonna go dump $50,000 into a dog, but we are sure gonna try to do whatever we can to save that dog and get it to the vet. Second, you'll be responsible for, the town will be responsible for, is our certification once a year, every year. That's it. I'm taking care of everything else.
And then, do you take care of every time you go to have to re-up training your dog and all that? Does the town have to help pay for that?
No, that's considered a certification. So when I go recertify my dog, that's on the town.
Okay, so,
That's post hours and training. So that's about $1,000 a year, if you want to get right down to it.
okay, I was just wondering.
No,
what
that's
it is.
perfectly fine. So when I go, the town pays 1 meal a day. I usually buy 2 of my other meals per day on my own. The town does pay 1 meal a day, and it does pay my lodging there.
If I remember correctly, the stop you had over there that I witnessed in Railway,
Yes,
you cited 4 people.
We did.
at $500 apiece.
We did.
That's $2,000.
so, and I'm not looking at it as funds, please don't think. I'm looking at taking dope off the street.
Oh, I
That's what
understand that,
And I
but I
understand
was
where you're
just-
coming from.
I just would like to know what the expenses are, if it is worth it. I know you're doing what you're supposed to do, but I just was, I mean, there's some other things that we never found out what it was.
So
and hence
I
what
carry,
we did.
I carry a DEA license. I have a license, so I can carry my narcotics legally. I take care of all that paperwork. I do the training of the dog. I will pay for all the food of the dog. I pay for all the yearly vaccines of the dog and the health checkups. I pay for all the grooming of the dog. I pay for all the dog's training tools and toys to do.
No, that's not coming out of your pocket.
No, that's all comes out of my pocket. So I will take care of all of that. No, that's what was agreed.
Oh, okay.
This is what I agreed to.
Okay,
So I have agreed to this.
okay.
So you guys will be responsible if the dog gets hurt on duty, and if the dog, or during training or anything, I mean, if it's related to this town or training, and then certification once a year.
Okay, what I guess what I'd like to know too, and I've approached him about this, is, okay, I never knew how many stops you've made we never know that. I never knew. I knew you did a couple of them, but can you report that to us when you do that, so we know that he's working?
Yeah, we can let you know if we have.
Because I've
Okay,
never known,
stops,
I don't
yeah.
know if Sharon's
So,
ever known,
we
Thea's ever
also-
known what all's been what the dog has
I
done.
understand, we also use our dog for outside county or outside departments. So we've used it for the sheriff's department, we've used it for Worland schools, we do searches in the schools for their kids. We've done Basin, we've helped with Level, we work with probation and parole quite a bit.
Right,
So we'll get called over there and we'll do searches for them on people that they have on probation that could have narcotics in their house. So we assist other agencies all the time. It's something that we do too, to help out.
that's just my question.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, when you go away and you say you only get one meal that we're paying for and you pay for two, why? Because when somebody goes away for other things, they get reimbursed for 3 meals for being.
But this is just what I choose to do. This is what I want to do too. I want to help my county, my community also, and I want to help my dog. I do the dog because I love the dog also. It's not just, I mean, I've had this dog for 7 years. We've worked since she was a puppy together, so I wanted her to work also. So it's just not about getting paid for everything. I appreciate what the town does, and I try to do my part as well.
Well, it's kind of like just everything else. We want to know
Yeah,
if we build a room on, we want to know what the expenses are.
Absolutely you
Just
do.
basically, and then we know.
K-9's got a money-making deal for departments. It's a
Oh, I'm
great
not-
community policing thing for departments, and it's great for our kids and for our schools, and it's great to try to keep the narcotics out of the town. That's the big thing. And I will tell you, narcotics is bigger in Manderson than everybody even wants to admit to. So that's just the truth of the matter.
Well, I would say so.
Okay,
Nothing,
let's move on.
Thank you, Daryl.
absolutely,
Thank you for your work and the dog's work.
absolutely.
New business.
We still have,
Goats and
Oh, yeah,
hounds.
goats.
Okay, I guess that's my bring up. I just want to know, it was over the 4th of July, I've already discussed it with everybody at the meeting. I don't know what the solution is, I know what I would do. The gates to me need to be left open so anybody can go down there, it's a public access.
I haven't seen them close, have they been?
Oh,
Yeah, they.
Oh, I don't go that way often. So, every
to
time I
me-
go, I take the kids down to there with their rocks and everything.
and it was brought up by somebody that they wouldn't go down there because they thought they were trespassing on somebody's property.
Yeah, there's
And,
no sign that says it's public and
So
you
you guys-
shut the gate, you know, if it is, that it's not locked, it really isn't locked.
no,
But they
but it's
have to shut the
closed.
gate if it is shut when they want to enter, but there's no sign saying it's public, so people don't know.
I guess we just need to get a sign.
But we also need to make a decision on it, whether they can go on there anymore. Is there a contract or anything with them running down there? If they get damaged or hurt somebody or do something to somebody's vehicle, who's responsible for all this?
From my understanding, and this is just casual conversation, I think it was just a verbal agreement. I don't think there was any official thing, so we could just tell them to just say, please don't do that more. And then after that, hopefully they don't do it anymore.
Please not do that.
Do it anymore, stop the goats and don't close the gate. I don't know why there is a gate, but, I mean, because there was no formal written anything, it was all verbal, so, from my understanding, I wasn't here obviously, but that's what I picked up.
Well, one meeting that I was sitting in when other people were on the council, Alina said that she did have a letter from the others, but she never did produce it for any of us, or for any of you guys, or even us now.
Well, I think if we're gonna do that, we need to send them a letter. Tim, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts is we've either gotta have a contract with them that states that they are liable for any damages to vehicles, to human beings, to
Other animals.
other animals. The dog's gotta be included because the dog's in there when it's with the sheep. But in all reality, what should happen is if the sheep are gonna continue to run in there, they really need to get,
The goats, you mean?
the goats, yeah, they need to get liability insurance, because if we're letting them run in there the way they are right now, and they hurt somebody, guess who's responsible for it? We are. The other thing is, you know, it's such a small area. I think we got 3 or 4 acres down there. You know, like, there's 60 acres back here. I don't know how much they graze in there. You know, if they wanna keep grazing, maybe, we've got a liability contract with the liability insurance, and, you know, we've gotta write things up that we want. The gates need to stay open. We got a cattle guard there, why do we need a gate? You know, so I think something's gotta be done, because if somebody gets hurt or some vehicle gets damaged or something like that, we're gonna get hit with a lawsuit, guys.
Not only
One
that,
time they were out on the road and we had to call and let them know that they were out. And then the next day, the guard dog was there, but no goats around. But the day the goats were all out, there was no guard dog around.
well, today they're in the other property and the guard dog's out, running down the street. And somebody had to stop for it this afternoon. I just think they should not even be able to graze there anymore. That's my opinion. Because all it's doing is causing problems.
I would agree, not because of any personal.
No, it's nothing against
But
them.
I think that would be the simplest solution, is just, because they do have a bunch of property, and it would just be easier for everybody, because then they don't have to get insurance, and then there doesn't have to be a contract, just keep the goats off of Manderson property, and the gate shouldn't have to be closed, unless maintenance closes it for maintenance work, but other than that, I don't think.
And I'm scared of the dogs. Because
Yeah.
they're big dogs. And they're there to protect.
Me and my son were actually out riding the four-wheeler, and we went down there. There's a tree down over there, by the way. And that dog popped out. Scared, he was driving the four-wheeler, scared the bejeebus out of him. So it's, because those dogs, they're trained for you know, they take care of the livestock, and they don't differentiate between a person threat or an animal threat, and that's.
Right.
And I know that there hasn't been any issues yet, but yet is not a great thing to hinge anything on. So I would agree with Judy, and maybe send them a letter to ask them to no longer let their goats out into the boat ramp area.
Cease and desist.
Be nice, because, you know, they have been.
Yeah, I mean, this is nothing personal against
Yeah.
the drivers. It's
It would just
definitely
be,
not.
I think it would just be easier all around, just clean cut, take care of it, you know?
What do you think, Sharon? You got any comment?
I've been concerned also because, like you said, you can't go down there and not know whether all of a sudden they're gonna come. The goats don't bother me, they don't scare me or nothing. But the dog, yes, it is a concern about that dog and some of the other dogs and stuff. But the big thing is it's a public access, but people don't know they can go there if the gate's closed, because there is no sign saying it's public, go ahead and open the gate, just shut it when you're done, but, you know, when you go through, but. So it is a problem. Then on the other hand, they do keep a lot of the weeds and stuff down, so then that's something you're gonna have to address if they're no longer there, to keep that under control. So,
That's another job for Hart next year.
Oh, heck yeah.
so it's my understanding that there's like 5 acres there for the boat ramp area.
There's,
Can't they fence off their spot?
it's already
So
been
It's
solved.
fenced
Is it?
off. They have a cattle guard down there. That's where the town property runs into them.
And they're
Isn't the
stopped.
cattle guard clear down by their house?
That's where their
There's one
property
down.
ends.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, so all the
The
rest
town
of that property
is
is
the
for the
town.
boat ramp for the town?
We got 3 to 5 acres in there. It's somewhere between 3 and 5.
Mostly trees.
Well, what good is it for the public if they don't wanna go there because they're scared of the dogs, they're scared of the goats? What good is it for the public?
Yeah, we want them to be scared
Or
of snakes,
also
but-
the other issue is
True.
Janet, did you have something?
I think the other issue that people have brought up before also is the issue of goats pooping all over down there.
Yes, that, they get up on the tables, and that's not sanitary. I mean, it's not
No, and
sanitary.
it's not a way to encourage people to use the boat ramp.
I mean, the tables in general aren't sanitary because they're outside, so don't even make it worse.
Some people wanna do something with the goat poop on the thing, and
Yeah.
that's on them, not the, you know, yeah.
So what I'm understanding is everybody's kind of in agreement to send them a letter to notify them that, the property is town property and we will no longer allow farm animals on it.
I think that sounds good. Do we need a motion on that, or just?
So can I have a motion to have a letter written to that effect?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thea, can you get that letter written
Yes.
before you get,
Yep.
going to college?
Yes. Thursday is my last, next Thursday is my last day, so,
Okay.
okay. I'll get it done though, I have the other stuff to rush through, so.
Okay, number 6, Ellen's utilities, water and sewer. Let me start just with a little bit. Ellen come to me, gosh, it's been 6-7 months ago. And she asked me what she could do to get water and sewer in there. She didn't wanna have to put a septic tank and put a water and a meter in. Was there something that she could do because she wouldn't be using that much? I probably overstepped my bounds as mayor at that time, and without discussing with the council, I agreed with her that she could pay $50 if it's just a fifth wheel trailer and just her in it, using that little bit taken up to the utilities. And she more or less agreed, but then, I don't know if it was Chris or Thea or if it was Ellen that come to me and said they weren't going to get the fifth wheel, so that's where it's left off. And I apologize for taking that on my own. I shouldn't do that stuff, I should have brought it before you guys, but it's wide open for whatever the council decides now.
Have you and Chris thought any more about it after the mayor talked to you think about what you guys are,
We did look at the ordinance for the sewer line, and it reads that if there is no room behind the new structure to put a septic tank in, which there is not, then it could be permitted to be connected to the sewer line to the septic tank we currently have. And as far as saying that we weren't gonna get the camper, I think we stated it would be on hold because it was getting cold and we didn't wanna bring the camper in at that time. And so, I mean, there's really, I don't really know what else, I think I've said pretty much everything at the other meeting. We didn't add a new person. We have the same number of people. There was no talk about increasing the water bill or the sewer fee when we moved into the house, which increased the number of people in the house on the property by 6, sorry, I didn't count.
The only thing is we increased the number of dwellings using water. And, as far as not using, more water running sewer through it, I thought I was being very reasonable and fair by putting a $50 price tag on it compared to what it would cost to put a septic tank in and to put water in. If people, the people of town just can't go hook on to water and sewer without the town knowing. eventually it's gonna get the town in trouble.
What's gonna happen is something's gotta be done. I agree with what everybody's saying, but if we let this happen, it's gonna happen with every place in town. And I don't mean it's gonna happen with every place in town, it just opens the door for that to become a thing. And, you know, I don't know what I know that in the old ordinance, which I don't care, because we can redo that ordinance anytime and we can change to whatever. But, it was one dwelling per tank, per tap, is the way it read. Judy pays for 2 dwellings. Randy and Carleen, 3 dwellings. Randy and Carleen pay for 5 dwellings. You know, so why is it fair that we've got another dwelling on a property and these guys are having to pay for water and sewer that they're not using? So I think there's gotta be some kind of fee attached to
But
that.
are theirs on separate properties for the 5?
Yes.
Theirs are separate, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that
But
makes
theirs
it,
is
that
not.
kinda makes a difference, because that's already sitting there, and the same person is still there, just in a different little dwelling. I don't really think she's using any more water or sewer than she would have if she was already just staying in the trailer where she was at.
But it's another dwelling. It's 2 families on. I mean, she's considered a family by herself, right? It'd be just like me moving one on and me living in it. It would be another household, is what I think Rod's getting at. It's 2 households living on one.
But it's been sitting there how many months now, already hooked up and
Well, we've
everything?
talked about this before, though.
Right, I know.
That's my opinion, and like Rod said, the state law, had looked into it, right?
Did anybody get that printed out? Because I've yet to see it.
Well, no, I talked to a few people and I can probably get it. But what the other towns are telling me is that's like stealing utilities. Cause you hooked into them without permission.
Except for, did they hook into it without permission if they talked into you and talked to you?
We never
And you-
I'm sorry, I wish we could stick to that, but we never did come to an agreement. Chris, you had something to say.
I know that there's some issues with it, and I understand. I'd be willing to work with the council, figure out a nominal amount to add to the water bill. There's no issue there. But what needs to happen is now, to stop that from happening again, is come up with the ordinance of that where you can't tap into it no more. In the ordinances that are on right now, there is nothing, and I don't know about the past ordinances, but in the ordinance book that you can look at right now, there's not a word in it.
Chris, the key thing here is anytime you take a utility without permission, it is stealing a utility. Chris, Mr. Dutcher, you've worked with the DEQ and you've worked in this area, is that correct?
Yeah, so essentially under state statute, you'd be looking at like a theft of services. That would be, the only exception to that would be as if there was administrative approval. So in your example earlier where you gave that verbal permission, that would forfeit that, but that is correct, yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna add to the confusion. We pay for an extra sewer every single month. No water goes through it, nothing. Can we donate it to her?
Can
You wanna
do
take
what?
it up and move it?
No. Can we donate the money we pay for it to her? To help? Because it's totally wasted at our place. Water doesn't go through it, nothing.
But we're doing it also.
I know that.
Or-
I'm not even arguing that. I'm just saying, why can't we pay for it every month, why can't they benefit from it?
The problem is the town has money borrowed
I
for
understand
water
that.
and for sewer.
I'm not complaining.
And if we do that, we're already running short. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do here, because that water and sewer has got to be self-supporting.
I
And
understand.
I'm afraid that it probably isn't. And if we get caught up with this, and I hate to say it with cameras and everything running, but we're going to have to sit down and we're going to have to make sure that we are paying for our system, that they're self-supporting, that we're not borrowing money from one account to another to pay for it.
But do you agree you gave her a verbal agreement that they could do that?
I gave her a verbal agreement that they could do that, but they
Then I
never.
think that should
No,
be-
well, now, hang on. I gave the verbal agreement that they could do that, but it was turned down.
Mr. Mayor, but I think the whole thing to this is the theft of a utility. Because they hooked into a sewer and that's stealing a utility, isn't that the whole thing?
That is basically it.
That's the thing.
You know, I wish we didn't, in a small town, I wish we didn't have to go through this stuff, but for us to pay our bills, we've got to do something. We can't sit on our hands because we're in trouble already. We're going to get in more trouble, so we better sit down and figure out what's right and what's wrong.
So to keep this from continuously being brought up, what is the solution? What do you see? Because, I mean, you keep bringing it up, so what solution do you do?
I don't know, you should have never done it in the first place.
Well, it's been done,
That's
so
the
now
whole
what
thing.
is the?
I don't know
forward?
what the solution would be for it. Alls I know it's wrong and it's a theft, so I don't know if you have to unhook it or, I don't know.
Well, that's what we need to know. If the council decides that the sewer needs to be moved, even though it's to regulation, it's as it should be done, it was done by a certified pipe fitter. If it needs to be undone, then we need to know, so that we can do that before it gets cold. If that's what the council wants to be done.
I think, and this is just my opinion on the thing, Mayor and Council, is I think a $50 fee is very fair per month. That's my 2 cents in this thing. I mean,
My main thing is, I would like for it to stop being brought up every single month, because apparently.
well, and that's why I just brought up the 50.
And if we need to, because we've been, Chris has been needing to talk to Rod for about 2 months, but time's not working out about this. So since it's been up again this month, I would like to come to an agreement as best we can right now, so that we don't have to keep hashing it up. If the council wants the sewer, the lines repaired back to their original state, we can do that.
I don't think the council wanted that. This was brought up at the last meeting, I think was the first time it was brought up. Maybe it was brought up once before that, but we tabled it to let everybody on the council think about it. So at this meeting, we could go ahead and make a decision. Was that the way it was last meeting, that we was to think about it, we was to make a decision at this meeting?
I believe that it was discussed and that if there was anything, like, I think like the statutes and everything, I asked for that, because everyone talked about it, but I couldn't, I'm good at finding things, so there's a lot of state statutes, and when it comes to sewers and, stuff, it's really, you have to word it just right to get what you're wanting.
Yeah. Well, it's like our guy that's been speaking back there, first name?
Chris, that's
Chris. He said it was basically in the state statute. That,
Excuse me, that's.
you did you mention it's in the state statute? that there is
Yeah, so,
utility?
if you look up the, Wyoming state statute for, that would be like a theft of service would be a crime. So if they were, my previous, I work for Midwest Assistance right now, but my previous, background was law enforcement. I worked at a sheriff's office and also for the attorney general's office. That statute's pretty well defined that it can be a theft of service with the intent to either tie into services that one is not paying for. So that could be electrical, sewer, water, public utilities, and so forth and so on. So yeah, that is, should still be, on the Wyoming state statutes, if memory serves me correctly, yes.
Even though they're already paying for that tap right there?
If they're already paying for that tap, then it would not be.
Essentially.
That's
you're
the
paying for
whole
a tap
thing.
that
They're
goes
just
to the
into
house,
that tap.
And the garden hose from the house to the camper's house being fed. It goes through a meter tap.
Then that would probably be, if it's from the same meter, if it's not another entity, and if that person has permission, then you have no intent of defrauding that system.
But was there permission? That's the
A
key.
verbal
Yeah.
permission?
And
If there's room.
where the sewer, where it goes into the sewer. It's not just how you fill the water, it's what you're doing with the sewage. And don't get me wrong here, I'm not against Helen. I'm for her, otherwise I would have never tried to make the deal with her. But when I did, I realized that I made a mistake. I should have got the council's approval. And I'm still willing to stand behind what I said, but it's just gotta get settled, and it's gotta get
I
settled
agree.
here.
One way or the other. I'd like, because this takes up a lot of time.
I will make a motion, Mr. Mayor, to bill Helen Saunders $50 a month for the use of water and sewer, and we will write a contract to that amount.
I would like it at first if a discussion was had with Helen. She's not here. And while me and Chris do pay for that, it's still her property. It's still in her name.
But it's really not up to her to decide what the council's gonna do. I mean, is it?
Well, it is if she doesn't want to pay it and instead wants to return the sewer to the way it should, the way it was originally.
Well, that would be her option. If we offer the $50 deal and she turns it down, then
I would like also that in, right, and that's a big thing, is we need to put stuff like this in writing. So if we move forward with this motion, to add to offer the $50 fee, for the sewer, it would need to be a in writing contract that stays in the office. And probably so that Sandy also has a copy because it does deal with money.
I got no problem with that. I think it should be done that way too, and then I think it should be,
it should go into ordinance book so nobody else.
and it's gotta read in there that anything bigger than a fifth wheel or a camper trailer, then it requires a service, a water meter and a sewer system.
Yeah, because you can grandfather her in and then rewrite the one, how you wanna write it so that nobody else can do it again.
Well, as the mayor
Because it's already
said,
done.
and we have been good friends with the Saunders for years and years, way before any of you guys were here. And this is like the drivers, we're not picking on Helen. The bottom line is Rod made a deal for $50 a month and they didn't accept the deal. That's what the deal is.
But I'm still willing to extend the deal, stick my neck out there and get it chopped off.
I made a motion, Mr. Mayor. That motion will include writing a contract to get to Sandy and having Helen sign a contract. And if Helen decides that she don't want to do that, then she can go back to the way it was.
Okay, I got a motion on the table to charge $50 for the sewer and the water
Per month.
per month,
50 for both of them or 50 apiece?
Combined.
Okay, thank you.
per month, for one fifth wheel that she has there. and then we need to write a contract. Do I have a second?
Can I second my own motion?
Being no second, motion fails.
All right.
So now, we may have to do it the hard way. I really wish this would've, you know, I put myself out there for Helen, I stuck my neck out, I love the lady. She come down and asked me for help.
Well, I was just
And
gonna
I
ask,
gave
because I
her-
didn't quite hear what his motion was, so I didn't know how I was gonna vote, because I wanted him to repeat what his motion was.
I did, I repeated it twice.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, well, it's already,
So, okay.
it's
real quick.
over.
Let's,
Well, hold on, because now you're talking like Helen's gonna be, in trouble for this when not even Judy seconded it, and she's the one that brought it up. And I was gonna abstain considering it's my property. I live there. I don't feel like that's appropriate for me to make a motion or to accept that, to vote on it. So,
Motion died, guys.
okay, but I would like to know what's the steps now.
We gotta discuss that at another meeting, because that motion died. So we
so
can't bring it back to the table once it dies.
right now, we're letting this happen. Anybody that wants to go hook up a little cabin, a fifth wheel, can do it, and we can't charge them.
No, that is not true.
It is because you can't, we're doing, for one, what you do for one, you've got to do for all.
I understand that, but there's gonna be council and mayor discussion on this at another meeting when it's brought up, because it died on the table tonight, so there's gonna be more discussion on it.
And we have a special meeting that is apparently to be discussed, so, I mean, we can add this to that.
Yeah, because we don't even know when that special meeting
Right.
is.
We haven't got to it yet.
Okay, the motion died, let's move on. New business, Fire Prevention District number 3, contract and access to fire hall.
Okay, so, in here, everyone has a copy of it, the only one that matters is Rob. It's just the fire protection services contract that we get every year. It does read, I will read the first part because this is important. The term of this agreement is July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026. The fire contract service to the town, which is Manderson, shall pay the fire district number 3, $2,825 would be the maximum amount that would be paid. For the 2025-2026 contract payable in 2 installments. The first installment is due July 31st, which we missed because they sent this in the middle of July. Upon the condition that all the fire hydrants in the town of Manderson have been tested by July 31st, 2025, and the result recorded on the form that was provided by Fire Warden Brent Godfrey, and report of such test be sent to Bighorn County Fire District number 3, and a copy sent to Bighorn County Fire Warden, and all hydrants be in good working order. This did come in triplicate, so, or you'll have to sign 3 different things, because we keep one goes to the fire warden, one goes to the fire district. So if you guys wanted to read that, it's,
And we had tests, and I need to get the results to you. They've all tested good, and I've got them down there on my desk at the shop. I've got to get them to you, and you can put them on a spreadsheet. I'll get those to you before you leave. But I'll go ahead and make a motion to go ahead and accept the contract as read.
We have a motion to accept the contract, do we have a second?
I second. Sharon?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Chris, you're up finally.
Right.
Everybody, this is Chris Stetcher. He's with the DEQ. He is
Midwest Assistance Program.
Midwest Assistance, yeah. And I've been working with him, Tim's worked with him. I had surgery, so now hopefully Tim and Chris will get together with them and get the stuff straightened out.
Permission to approach the council?
Yes.
My name is Chris Dutcher. I'm with Midwest Assistance Program. As Mayor Patrick mentioned before, we've been working in this area for a little while, specifically on a drinking water project. So Midwest Assistance Program, we are in 9 states. We are a nonprofit, and we help small communities, disadvantaged communities, with the procurement of funding for both clean, safe drinking water and wastewater projects. We've been around since 1979. We do everything from rate studies, we do GIS mapping, infrastructure development, management to finance. We help procure monies in the forms of grants, loans, and those types of things. Just kind of hearing the conversation tonight, it sounds to me like a lot of the core issues stem around, you guys are needing money for building the infrastructure to sustain things. So that is what I'm here for. We do have a open project with you, our company does. For the last 10 months, it kind of stagnated just because of communications and those kind of things. Now I understand Mr. Sanders is going to be training for an operator, so I'm in direct contact with him. So moving forward, I would like to, my plan for this project, this community, is I would like to get you guys some free engineering assistance for preliminary engineering report. We can do that through a variety of ways, through the community engineering course. That just requires some feedback and some information about the system and about the community that we can submit to them to get that. Upon completion of that and acceptance of that program, we'll then go into a work plan, and then once that work plan is completed, we can use that entirety of that documentation in order to procure grants, loans, and other funding sources. That's kind of been our disconnect recently, is been trying to get some of that information to try to procure some of these things. The other thing I would recommend for the community is a rate study. I hear that there are certain things, we're not sure who's using how much water, what everyone's being paid. So that's something that we do as an organization. We can come into your community, look at your books, look at how many taps you have, and then look at systematically what it would cost in order to sustain that system, but then also for future growth, for capital improvements. As the mayor said earlier, you guys are fighting a lot of different battles, and just sitting here this evening and hearing kind of all the different things, it sounds like you guys have a lot of irons in the fire. So I'm here as a technical service provider and a program manager to kind of help alleviate that process. We work hand in hand with DEQ, we work hand in hand with EPA, we work hand in hand with USDARD. So those are some folks that can be allies, and through our company we can use Midwest Assistance Program as a conduit to try to procure some of these fundings and kind of just communicate a little bit more what's going on with the community here. And that way, some of these folks are not so eager to kind of come down on some of the administrative orders and stuff if we're working with them and trying to rectify those things. So that's why I'm here. I also understand the community recently had a contract with Cadmus, which was a free engineering source for wastewater. So if that is something of need as far as the wastewater side of things, we can also look at opening up a wastewater project with the community as well. So we're here to help, but we can only help as much as we are given the information to do so. So it requires usually monthly contacts, sometimes weekly contacts, depending on where the stage of the project is at, and a lot of information sharing. So we're here to help you guys as much as you guys need, or as little as you need. Some communities we go in and it's a simple fix of a couple tips or tricks. Some communities we go in and we're there hand in hand, elbow to elbow, until we can get somebody through the process to kind of procure and leverage some funding, or leverage the task that they want completed. So
We did have, who was the guy out of Gillette I was working with hand in hand?
Probably Lee Allen. Was that it?
No,
Out of Gillette.
Bob.
Bob. from Midwest Assistance Program. Oh, that would have been Bill Carson.
Yes, Bill.
Yes.
Anyway, we was in the process of going ahead and GPS and all of our water lines and our, our taps and everything else. And for some reason, well, I know he left the company or retired or whatever, but do you know where we're at in that process? I mean, has anybody picked that up since he's gone?
So yeah, like I came in and picked up his project load afterward. There was no mention. We have an internal database that we keep notes on and project status and things like that. There was no notation of ever starting a mapping project, so I don't know if he did or didn't log that. So that is news to me, but if that's something the community would like to do, we do fee for service. You're required to purchase the tablet. We do have Bad Elf GPS, and that fee for service is $500 annually, so year to year, and that gives you a living, breathing document of your drinking water lines, your wastewater lines. As an operator can go in there and do O&M planning, asset management. And then we also have tech support. So if you run into issues, your operator or whoever you have is designating to access that program, we can help with that. But that's something that we also do. That's probably our bread and butter comparatively to some of the other technical service providers is our GIS and mapping infrastructure.
Didn't they hire somebody out of Burlington to take Bill's place? And did they let him go and you're the new mayor?
That would be Lee Allen. Yeah.
Okay.
So Lee Allen is still with the company. He had this project for a couple of months. Then I came on, and the project was tasked with me. So
Did Bill give anybody? Because we give Bill 2 or 3 boxes full of stuff, including maps and everything else. Did anybody ever retrieve any of that from Bill? Because
that is news to me, sir. So I was supplied with the internal database narrative of what he had, and Lee Allen, I know, did have the project. He did keep very copious notes on our internal database as far as what was going on with the project, but as far as physical hard copies, I have not seen any of those. So that will probably be something we'll have to investigate and see where that is.
that would be good. Yeah, that would be good. Because I know that, I worked with Bill for a couple of years and I love what you guys do, and I think it's great for these communities. And I definitely want to stay involved with Midwest because there's a lot of things that you guys do that don't cost the town anything.
Yeah.
We don't have the money to do anything anyway, so.
Yep.
But yeah, it's good you're aboard. I think there's a lot of things that we can work together on and get a lot of things done that we need to get done, that we planned on getting done and never, Bill was, my understanding, we was gonna map last year in October, but I don't know what happened.
I don't know, that was before my time. I know that he left fairly abruptly, and then I was hired on shortly thereafter, so I couldn't tell you the history of that, but
Right.
I'm here now, and I'm young, willing, eager, and, I'm here to help you guys procure what you need to get done here, to the best of my abilities. I don't have a long history working with water, but I have a long history of working very hard.
Right.
So that is my goal. I've already helped in the last year of employment here. I've helped 3 systems gain into compliance that had some pretty significant issues. So if I'm given that access and information, and as Chris and I work together, I feel like we can get you guys on the right track.
Well, I'm glad you're aboard, bud. I don't think there's anything we've got to discuss with the council because it's all, can't find the word. Anyway.
I would like to mention, I am communicating with Chris, so I know that was something that was kind of discussed before, so if the council so sees it fit, I would like to communicate with him, and kind of keep this project going and let him have kind of that reign and oversight as far as the projects goes, as far as our contact liaison point for Midwest Assistance Program.
Yeah, you're not stepping on my toes.
As long as he's willing to as well, yes.
Yeah, I'm willing to take it on.
Okay.
And then he can give us reports of what's going on then each time and.
I have a question.
Yes.
So with the wastewater that we have, we get it tested, it gets shipped off and, you know, all the good stuff. Would Midwest be able to help us if we had consistent bad, tests?
Yeah, so,
Figure out
so
why
I-
they're bad and
yeah,
what solutions?
so I am privy to some of that information. The project I came on with is designed as a drinking water project. So the way our funders work through both state and federal funders is we have to delineate, is this a wastewater project, which we call clean water, or is this a drinking water project? So I had a drinking water project with the community. However, I worked very closely with Karen Sanchez, who was the community's contact point for the wastewater project. She did give me some resources as far as SOPs go, which I have earlier given to Chris to kind of overview and fill. And then also was speaking on the Advantech system. I believe that's what you guys are using, is that correct?
Yes.
So the Advantech system, and we were looking at some training and some operations and maintenance for that system. So that was something we had discussed. There's a few resources that I know within the state that may be able to help. One specifically, one operator I have a project with in Hartville named Rick Pfeiffer, who I spoke with, would be willing to do that. He used to be full-time with the city, now he's gone back part-time. Of course, that would be a council decision to get him up here to pay for his wage for some of that troubleshooting, but he's a phenomenal operator. I've heard nothing but great things from all the other operators and you know, some of the higher ups at some of these agencies with his.
Wasn't he the one that we had up here not too long ago?
No, that was a guy out of Oregon.
No, that was the guy out of Casper.
Well, that was probably Joe McVeigh.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said we got an excellent system, and
Yeah.
he says we could cut it in half and quit using 50% of it and still
Yep.
be okay with it. And the gal you were talking about, she got in contact with me about a month ago,
Mhm.
and she says they lost all their funding, but if they get it back, that she would get back in touch
Okay.
with.
Yeah, and that's kind of what's been happening too with a lot of these federal programs. Some of our funders have been cut by, you know, some percentages, but not all of them. But luckily for us, water and wastewater is still very important for, you know, both federal and state government entities. So we're still funded, we're still here. We'll be here as long as you want until you either tell us, good job, we don't need you anymore, or get the heck out. So that's kind of how we roll.
Well, I appreciate you coming down, Chris. I'm glad that we've got somebody back in our hind pocket. I really liked Bill, but Bill was getting to that. Bill was a good guy.
Yeah,
We'll just leave it there.
absolutely. I
All
understand.
right. Yeah, I'm all in favor of Chris working with Chris. And you know, seeing where we can move ahead with some of these projects, because I know I'm all for the mapping, I'm all for a lot of things that you guys do, so.
Would we want to have, Chris Saunders give a report every month at the meeting, like add him to the reports list?
Yes, definitely.
Our requirements for our side for the contracts is that we make monthly contact, right? So that can be a phone call, text message, communications with whoever our contact person is, and then one site visit per quarter. So once every 3 months, actually physically showing up on site, meeting with Chris or a liaison representative. So as long as we do those things, we can still work on the projects, but for whatever reason, those are the two things that have to be done in order to keep the project alive, so to speak. So
He's got my personal number and I answer him almost every time.
yep, and vice versa. You got mine, so
Amen.
yep,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
It's been nice working with you. I wish I could have got a little further, but
Yeah.
things happen.
Hey, that's all right. We'll get it whipped.
I'll pick up where you left off, Rob.
Please do.
Thank you.
You need any help? I know the system like the back of my hand. I can tell you where every valve is in my slate. So you need anything, I'm here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Meters.
There are broken meters.
2 of them are fixed.
Ours is also malfunctioning.
We've gotta look at that one. In fact, what we need to do is we need to stick another meter in there and read that for, so let me put that in my notes.
Because, I mean, I don't know, I know that we just we voted to increase the water and sewer rates. And people have made comments about the new water bill, but then there's been comments about the numbers not looking right on multiple people's things. So I'm wondering if, I mean, obviously it can't be done right away, it's gonna be a bit of a project. If the meters around town, everyone's meter can get like a quick look at, make sure that they're all functioning the way they should. And if they're not, then we can, because ours was, not sure what's wrong with it, but it would sit there and or shut it off, turn it back on, and it kind of evened itself out again, but it was a mess.
I had all water turned off at the property. There wasn't a single bit, and my meter I was rolling 3 gallons every 2 minutes. It was just sitting there spinning with everything off.
Yeah, in a case like that,
We used almost 65,000 gallons with no water running in the house
yeah.
in 1 month.
To me, that's telling me that you've got a leak between the meter pit and the house. And I don't know, I can just tell you from past experience, meters don't run fast and meters don't run slow. They either run or they don't run. But, even with that amount of water, if your toilet was barely running, the 3 gallons of water you were talking about, that could be from a toilet leaking, it could be from a sink dripping, even a garden hose dripping. But if it's something that we can check and
That's all
see
I ask.
what's happening.
My bill, well, I used 48,000, I'm on the river, so I don't know what's going on with my meter either.
Yeah, and that was my main thing, it's just, multiple meters are seeming to act a little weird, and they are kind of old, so, I just wanted to bring that to, I guess, maintenance.
And really, if the clerk, which would be, Sandy's doing all the water now, so I told Sandy that if because you can look back through that book and you can look at what people have been using. And if all of a sudden you've got a user that went from 18,000 to 56,000, then Sandy better be giving the maintenance or the water guy a call, and so it's gonna be up to her to let whoever's in charge of that know, so they can go check that at that point.
Well, being done right, when Chris starts reading, he'll just subtract it and look at it and
Yeah.
say,
Something wrong
that
there.
used way too much, let's take a peek.
Is that meter still freewheeling?
No, after I flipped it off, because I turned it off, turned it back on, all of a sudden it burns 1 gallon every 22 minutes, which
We have a couple of these now.
Yeah.
I've got 1 leaking faucet in my bathtub, and I can justify that. But when it was burning 3 gallons a minute, it was kind of.
And I know also that, like, we've got a few people in town that their water bills went up drastically, and those people put in gardens, they put in lawns, and they don't realize how much water those lawns and gardens really take.
And I accounted for that. I looked back at the previous bills, and even running 14 hours of water during a week
Right.
on the lawn, the most it went up to was about 40,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
one of the things. It's not like it's a constant issue, just one thing, like to take a look at it just to make sure that there's not something there.
You gonna be around tomorrow?
No, not until late tomorrow afternoon.
Let's do it Monday then. If you ain't got anything going Monday.
No. I just gonna bring down nothing.
Let's just plan on like 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll look at it, look at it, see what's going on.
And then that's just the thing, that if I do have a leak between the meter pit and the house, I'd like to know it, because I don't wanna keep paying $350 water bills.
Yeah, that's like your grandpa Kenny, I mean, he had that leak and they finally surfaced and it finally come up, I mean, he was using, I forget how many thousands of.
I found one of those during the winter where it broke, and he had an ice skate rink underneath his house.
Absolutely. But yeah, Thea, that's not it, you know, it'd be good to get Chris licensed and everything,
Yeah.
so he can be following up on this stuff and let Howard and I do the things we're supposed to do instead of the water stuff. Anything else?
No, that was it for that one.
Two-step,
Oh, are you going over the water bills?
Water bills.
Well, you got the meters, and then he was going to the two-step off the.
oh,
Yeah.
water bills,
Um,
okay.
I honestly, that may have been an error on my part where I bought water bills and then I decided to put meters instead for more specific, and I left the water bills. So that, unless, I feel like someone asked me to do the water bills, but I don't have any memory of what it was about. So I think it's either that or I separated it and then didn't take it off. So that was my error.
Well, I would like to say something about the water bills.
So then never mind, we didn't want to talk about water bills.
Well, my water bill is ridiculous, and I know I use a lot of water, but I'm running more sewer out than I'm running water. And I don't get that. And another thing, our sewer shouldn't be near as high as it is because none of that grass water's going through my sewer. I mean, something, this water's gotta, aren't we having a meeting on water?
Wet's coming up here shortly.
Okay, because something's really messed up.
Well, on a lot of us, it's mine too.
Because I know I'm not using that much
I
water.
paid $300, I'm used to paying $100 or something.
Well, mine's,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had 2 bills over 300 in a row.
Yeah, okay, when is this meeting?
Oh, I gotta get to it.
I didn't know anything about it.
Well, you do now, evidently. You're a mushroom, huh?
It's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
Number 5.
Two-step authentication for office.
Yes, okay. So, I have found an issue with the town hall office, and it's one that, it stems from having multiple people in that office, where we have a lot of accounts online require two-step authentication, where you put a cell phone number in and it texts you a code. And a lot of times they won't even let you do just an email. You have to do an email and something else, which is usually a cell phone. I just barely got access to the Gmail account that the town has, because it had that two-step authentication to a cell phone number that I had no idea who it belonged to. I did find out it belonged to a friend of clerk. I did get in contact with her, so we got that. And it is currently sitting at my number. Now here's the issue, need to get back into it and I'm not there. Same issue. We had issues with the Outlook, or with the QuickBooks. Now that's not a big issue, but it's an example. The QuickBooks needed a code, and now Sandy has it on her phone, which is good. But before it was on Michelle's, and then it causes a lot of breakdown. What I would like to do, and I've talked to Janet about it, they have a old cell phone in the office there that's not being used, is to put one in this office. Its only purpose is the two-step authentication. It would not be used for calls, it would be just very basic, whatever, on the plan that the town has, to get text messages, so that it can be added to these accounts that are in the office with those profiles, and then it doesn't get connected to a person's personal phone. And then we lose access, or they maintain access, and it just causes a security issue when those cell phone numbers are spread out like crazy. And I don't know how much that would look like on our phone bills, because I don't have access to that. So it'd probably be something to discuss with Sandy, but it is something I would like to see for the
Why don't
office.
you discuss it with Sandy and see what she thinks, seeing she's the financial, and we'll go from there.
I can call T-Mobile and find out how much it'd be to just have a text-only plan
Yeah,
on one of those phones.
yeah,
Then if we have that meeting, we can cover that in special meeting too.
Okay.
yeah. So is that all on that?
Yes, I just felt that was really important for the security of the office.
Updated contacts.
Oh, yeah, that was just to expand on what I was talking about with, getting them in, but I accidentally covered that with the, clerk comment, or with the clerk report.
Right.
Just getting updated information. I wanna do an online form too, in case somebody didn't wanna fill out a paper form or whatever, but that would be something that, like a Google form, it's really easy. It would be through the Gmail, so if whoever's in the office, they can check it, and it's super easy. And that way, because, I know Sandy doesn't have, post box for some people, but then the post office will sometimes send those back if they don't have the post box, but it's not consistent who will and won't do that. And so some water bills are not getting to people. And then also give the option for some people to get their water bill through email. Not everybody, if you don't want it to email, you don't have to, but to make it easier. So if they do, they can go ahead and send that information, give it to Sandy, she can do her thing.
Super.
And that's that.
Okay, number 7, fees.
I talk too much. All right. So this is so I meant to make a list and I got distracted and I was frazzled. But we need to come up with some fees that need to go on paper so that it's posted, so Sandy knows, so that we know, so that town knows. A big thing, and so this fees and charges list, Judy was gracious enough to have. So we can.
Yeah, I've had this for a while, so I don't know, it's pretty probably old, but.
Yeah, but that's okay, because we can just kind of go through it real quick and, charges, the fees that we already know that we have, I'll write them down and then I'll make a formal list later. And fees that we don't really care about right now, we can skip and do later. So just really fast, the monthly mosquito charge is how much, I don't even remember, is it $11?
11,
I
I
think
think.
it's 11.
Or it went up $1. I think it went up $1 from 11 to 12. I don't remember.
I think it's went from 10 to 11.
Anybody know off the top of their head what the mosquito?
I think it's
is?
13.
Here, I got it right
Janet told me a
here.
strange number.
It's right here, it's $10. It's $10 on this bill.
What day is that bill?
Well, it's on the inactive. On my residential, it's 11.
And that's another thing, should we
That's a
be
brand new bill.
charging a mosquito fee for people who have multiple properties? Well, I guess, never mind. That was silly.
We've been doing it all along. I don't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay, it's okay. Dog license and tag, what is the fee for that one?
$7.50, I believe.
Unless you don't pay it.
Late fee,
For
$10.
the date, and then late, it's
$10.
Okay, replacement tag, I have never heard anything talk about a replacement tag.
Replacement what?
A replacement
A tag
tag?
on the dog.
Oh.
The dog eats.
They just get it when they pay their $7.50.
Okay, so,
Kennel, we don't have.
remember kennel, registration, don't do that. Chickens.
It was $50 a year, I thought, wasn't it, or 25?
25.
25.
And if anybody hears a number that sounds weird or wrong, please speak up. Accuracy is important. Fee for the park use?
That was 20, that was a $50 deposit is what it was. And that's per, I forget, per people of, like more than 20 people or whatever. They get their $50 fee back if they haul their garbage out to keep it clean. There's no debris, there's no anything else, but it was a $50 deposit was refundable.
Okay. Now this is the part that's really, that Sandy's really super interested in, is the water rates. For late fees, we need to come up with a late fee that will be added and will begin to be charged, because we have to, that's part of the audit, it's the whole shebang. Sandy said we could do a percentage, or we could do just a flat rate. If it's late, $25, $50, whatever.
It is 9:20. Let's call the meeting back to order. We discussed personnel, discussed some applications, and I think we're, do you want to vote on if we're going to interview the one gal at 4:30 Tuesday?
Yeah, I'd go ahead and make a motion to interview the gal out of Basin on Tuesday at 4:30.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Seeing there's no council comments,
Yes, there is, excuse me.
Shouldn't have said that.
council comments.
I just have one thing that I would like, I guess Sandy's supposed to get it for us, and everybody else has published these, and it is by ordinance, or Wyoming statute 15-1-110, that gives all the employee, wages that they've made in the last, from July to June 30th or whatever. And I know we put it in the paper before. I don't know if it's just gotta be displayed in 3 places, but I think we need to do this because everybody else has, and we've done it before.
Yeah, it is, it's a law. We're supposed, it's a law. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're supposed
So
to.
this needs to be,
Yeah.
I'm sure Sandy's dealing with that, 'cause I asked her about it, she said, yeah, she was gonna get to it, but it's time to
yes,
get to it,
because everybody else
it's
has
overdue.
got it in. So that's just all I wanted to.
I have something really, really quick. Did you give Rod the violation letter from DEQ that I gave you?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And
Second.
Mike Dallas has gotta,
Okay.
go over that, cause Mike's our level 1 operator, level 2
Got it.
operator.
Okay, and then one more thing, because I remembered what else we wanted to do at the executive, or at the next special meeting. Crap.
Daryl, if you want to go,
wanna
you're
crap.
more than welcome.
It just left. It left my brain. Oh, the contracts for the police department. We wanted to do that at the special meeting.
I thought we decided to do that at the next regular meeting.
We did.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yes, we did, I believe.
Okay. Never
Because
mind.
I sent the special meeting and I got voted down.
I don't remember that. Okay. Okay, then that's all I had.
I would make a motion to go ahead and adjourn, Mr. Mayor.
Are you sure? You have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
They're not health and benefits.
Bye.
Motion carried.